Thank you, Kevin. Good morning to everyone. Bad news, good news. The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. Thank you. I am so glad to be here. My name is Sean Ricks. I'm hosting this morning. I'm so glad to be here because I've been gone for several weeks, 6 to 7 weeks, with some professional commitments, and I feel like I've been walking the desert. And I'm so glad to be back to my spiritual well. So thank you all for being here. We talked this morning about faith, and some of us prefer the word trust, and I trusted that you would all be here when I came back, and sure enough, it's so great. Whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, I want you to know that you are truly welcome here. Is there anyone here that is here for the first time? Henry, is this your first time? You've been here before. Okay. So I just ask everyone to repeat after me. It's nice to have you here. We see you. We appreciate you. And we thank you for coming. Welcome. We have announcements with Donna.
Thank you. Yes, Henry, our newcomer, is going to be our special music today, so that's very exciting. So let's go to announcements. Today is the board meeting. You're all welcome to stay or to come in on Zoom and hear what we're talking about and hear what we say today, catch up on behind the scenes. So 12 o'clock today in the library or on Zoom. Let's Talk Science of Mind is now going strong at 9:30, and they're talking about what the theme is for each day. And I only got in at the end of it, but they were talking about miracles, and it sounded wonderful. So try to get here at 9:30 for that first 45 minutes time, because that's the time you get to talk and just exchange ideas and talk. So it's a great thing to do. And you can it's in the library. Reverend Jack will be there. He leads it, either online or in person, and your chance to discuss ideas. Okay, our 50th anniversary is this coming Saturday. How many of you are coming? That's good. That's good. And we hope people out there in Cyberland will be coming too. We're inviting everybody who's ever been part of this place for any kind of reason to come and join us, share stories. We're going to have a barbecue, and so we have lots of good food, and we're asking people who come just to bring a little side dish to make it even better. And now, plus music by Doug Hurt and Friends. So that has just been added when Donna W. tried to get a phone number for somebody else, and she ended up getting Doug, and he said, I'll do the music. So it'll be wonderful. We'll be eating. We'll be sharing stories. We're going to talk about the book. And let's go to the next slide. Because Ann Helgerman has put together a book about our 50 years. And I'm so glad she's done this so that now it's recorded and it's there in history. And if you want to buy one, it's just $10 to make the copy, and sign up on the back sheet if you want one. And if you sign up the day of the anniversary, you might have to wait a little bit to get it. But we'll have some copies here, and whoever signs up will have copies for you. So there's pictures. Like I said on there, you might find yourself in a picture that's 20 years old or who knows how long, and showing how the center used to be at a totally different arrangement before the bookstore was here. It's very interesting. So I hope you'll come. 12 to 3, we'll have barbecue, we'll have music, we'll have talk, and we'll have the book. So please join us. Now, our newest project. Lori Kathleen, who is our new helper, has come up with this great idea that we can recycle and make some money. Apparently, they took the first batch already to the recycling and made $23. So that was that was Rita and Lori doing it. So here's exactly what they want. The 2 cans, maybe you noticed them coming in the back door. There's a can for plastic and one for soda cans. They need to be clean, they need to be empty, and they will be taking them every Thursday to the recycling. So it's great. We're making money and we're doing the environment some good. So I want to show you what I brought. I went to a meeting Thursday night, and I said, "Oh, I need all the bottles." So this is my contribution to the recycling. So bring all your stuff, bring it here, and we'll make some money off of it. Great idea. Thank you, Lori.
If I could get everyone to join me reading the mission statement. Our mission statement is, Center for Spiritual Living, Visalia, is the place everyone comes together, connecting in love, and learning how to create abundant, joyful, and peaceful lives. And now we have our first song. Spirit is in this place. Good.
We have come together as a family. We have come here as we are. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. We sing in celebration. We sing with words of prayer. We affirm our life as sacred. We declare that peace is here. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Yeah, 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 yeah. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit Raise the roof with shouts of praise, spirits in this place.
Thank you so much, Donna. That was beautiful. And Kevin, your moving accompaniment. Appreciate it. Carol now has our diversity quote.
Thank you, Sean. Today, our subject, excuse me, today our subject is abundance and gratitude. We don't often speak about Jesus in the Bible, but remember that Ernest Holmes had a Christian upbringing. To him, the biblical parable of the loaves and fishes was illustrative of abundance and gratitude. Scott Aubrey, who is the person who gives our quote, he briefly retells the story's highlights. In the story of Jesus giving the loaves and fishes, it says he held the food in his hands, looked up, and gave thanks. This is the key to the story. Jesus took his attention off the multitudes to be fed, or the lack, and looked to his source and gave thanks in advance. It was acknowledging his source and being in gratitude that unlocked the miracle. The source is universal divine energy, and gratitude is our conscious tuning into alignment with that energy so that we can acknowledge receipt of the gift. Let us follow our inclination to demonstrate the abundance of loaves and fishes in our daily lives. Recognize our source and give thanks for every manifestation. Not a miracle, but divine law.
Thank you, Carol. If I could get all of you to read with me what we believe, the principle, what we believe. We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. Thank you. And now we're going to have the congregation song.
Yes, I'm stepping out. If everybody would please stand.
Please stand and join us if you can or choose to.
We have words somewhere. I'm stepping out into a world of possibilities. I'm stepping out with this new way to live. So much waiting for me. The path is clear before me. I've got so much that I have yet to give. I'm stepping out and I'm committing to integrity. I'm stepping out, releasing every fear and doubt. The road just keeps on turning. At every turn I'm learning what this life is all about. I'm stepping out. I'm stepping out into a world of possibilities. I'm stepping out into a whole new way to live. There's so much waiting for me. The path is clear before me. I've got so much that I have yet to give. I'm stepping out and I'm committing to integrity. I'm stepping out, releasing every fear and doubt. The road just keeps on turning. At every turn I'm learning. I'm learning what this life is all about. I'm stepping out. I'm stepping out. I'm stepping out.
Good morning, beloveds. It is so good to be with each and every one of you again today. My intention of my talk today is to demystify this whole idea of miracles. You know, miracles is often attributed to the story of the loaves and the fishes. And I know that some of us will remember from earlier times, the 1980s, the 1990s, there was a very popular ministry that its catchphrase was, expect a miracle. Now, I want to be fully honest with you and say every time I heard that back in that day, I'd kind of want to put my hands over my face and go, oh, come on now, what a kitschy little theme. But one of the things I've come to learn in life, you know, life gives you great opportunities to realize that a miracle is nothing more than the universe or the source coming together for your own good. It's one of those things when things just sort of fall into place in the perfect order and your ego has not had time enough to make it happen or to execute a plan for it to happen or whatever. That's a miracle. And so one of the things I want to invite us to take a look at today is this whole understanding of there's something greater than ourselves. And that something that is greater than ourselves is often brought to us via a miracle, or what we would call a miracle. Now, I want to invite you to come together and get grounded in this understanding that there is one universe, one source, one divine love that we, or many of us, call God. Some of us call it love. Some of us call us the universal knowing. Whatever we call it, what we can agree upon is that there is a source greater than us. But while this source that is greater than us exists, we are one with that source, so we are a part of that source. And so as we come together on this third Sunday in November, we celebrate this idea that faith allows us to fully benefit from the miracles that are happening each and every day around us. One of those miracles that we're calling forth today, and this invocation is calling forth the miracle to be nudged by the universe, to be inspired by something that will propel us into the week ahead at a higher level, a more loving level, a more inclusive level than we could have imagined. It might be the spoken word. It might be the songs that are sung. It might be the smile that's on the face of someone you see next to you. Whatever it is, know that that is a miracle. That is a miracle unfolding right in front of you. And so we say thank you to the miracles that surround us. We say thank you for the opportunity to grow. And so we turn this talk today over to the divine so that we may receive that in which we are to receive. And we have faith that it will be good and that it will serve us. And so we simply say, thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, universe. And so it is. So I want you to think about a time in your life when there was no explanation for what happened other than to call it a miracle. I know there's something there. Even the skeptics among us will want to say, no, 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 no. I just didn't have all the information, but it was very logical and it unfolded as it was supposed to be. Let's be open. Let's be open to entertaining the idea that maybe what it is a miracle and it unfolded in the perfect way. Whether it is a chase encounter, whether it's someone that you met sometime and it was like the perfect opportunity to meet that person. As our friend Iyanla Van Sant would say, somebody came into your life for a reason and then they were gone. But it changed the outcome. It changed the trajectory of your life because of that encounter. And your life unfolded for the good because of that. That's a miracle. That's a miracle. The universe conspired for your highest and best in that. I'm reminded of a time a few years ago when my beloved and I were going to Yosemite to experience the mountains and go on the hikes and see the creeks and the rivers. And we went in 140, drove in State Road 140 into the valley, and it started to rain. And we got into the parking lot outside of the general store in Yosemite National Park, and we had brought a picnic lunch. We were going to have just a great day, but it really started to rain. And so we sat in this parking lot for over an hour, enjoying our picnic lunch, listening to the music on the radio, having a great conversation. But after we finished the lunch and after we'd been there for a while, we realized that this rain was not going to let up. And so we made the decision, we might as well head on out and come back another day. And so, well, we came in 140 and let's go out 120, Route 120. And I had driven into the valley. And so my beloved said, well, how about if I drive? And I go, okay. So he started to drive and we're driving out of the valley. And I noticed that the rain was turning to sleet and the sleet was turning to snow. And having grown up in Indiana and being a driver on this thing called black ice, I wondered if he knew what black ice was. Because this is someone that had grown up in the Pacific Islands and lived in California. It's like, I wonder if maybe I should have been the one driving. And no more had I said that. Then suddenly our Explorer went into a spin, went across the road, hit a berm, and we started to roll down the center, down the cliff, into the valley. The car rolled over about 6 times. And each time when the roof hit the thing, I remember saying, God, if this is it, I'm okay with it. But if it's not, stop the truck from rolling. That was my prayer. I was amazed in that moment that I could separate from my body, offer that prayer, and hear myself screaming every time my head hit the roof of the cab of the truck. I had a skylight in the top of it. And so I was hitting that glass of that skylight each time. Suddenly, upside down, our Ford Explorer came to a rest against a pine tree. The windows were blown out, and my side, the passenger side, was facing down the hill. All the stuff from the truck was going out the window past me. And I realized that if I was going to get out, there was a tree right in front of me that I could put my arms around and crawl out that window. Robert was in the United States Navy, and so he was well trained and an athlete, and he could climb out the driver's side of the truck, which was up kind of in the air. The only thing that concerned me is the motor of the truck was still running. And I thought, we've got to get out of the truck, because I had this sense that the truck was going to continue on down the hill. So I scurried out. I got out. I put my arms around the tree and held on. He climbed out and said, somebody's coming from help. I'll be right back. Well, what I didn't know, and this is the miracle part of the story, there was a Volkswagen Beetle car. Second time in my life that a Volkswagen Beetle was played a key story to my life, but a Volkswagen Beetle was coming, and it had 4 French exchange students driving who had come to Yosemite to check it out while they were here learning. 3 of them got out. The other one went to get help, but they were athletes. And so what they did is they created a chain that went down the side of the hill. One person got in front of the other person got in front of the other person got in front of that person, as they made their way down the hill to a point where Robert could join them in that link and come down the rest of the way. And then once they did that, they got a hold of me and got me up the hill, up to the road. Well, by the time they got me to the top of the road, the forest ranger or the sheriff had come back. And the sheriff looked at me and said, okay, which one of the 4 of you were driving? And I said, there's only 2 of us. Now, the forest ranger was looking at 4 people standing alongside of the road, and there was no other evidence of any other car at that point. So he decided to discount anything that I had to say in the thing, because what I didn't know is I was bleeding from the top of my head. And the other thing, and to demonstrate why this was a miracle, those French students did not speak English. They only spoke French. And still, they knew exactly what to do. They knew how to communicate one another, and they got us to safety. That was a miracle. That was a miracle to teach me to have faith that God will provide. The universe will provide. The source will provide. Now, what I didn't know is simultaneously in Indiana, my mom was having an experience of low blood pressure that it got so low that she had to be taken to the hospital for an emergency infusion. While she's on the emergency room hospital bed in Indiana, I am on the emergency room bed at the hospital in Yosemite. And they kept telling her, we're going to keep you overnight. And she kept saying, no, I've got to go home. My son needs me. Something's going on. She had this strong intuitive feeling that I was in danger, even though that I was 2,500 miles away from her. We were connected with the one source, that one ability to communicate with one another. That is a miracle. That is evidence of a miracle. Once I was released, she was released simultaneously. and at the same time. But I learned from that experience that the universe will conspire for what is for my highest and best. I fast forwarded to this time in my life where many of you may know that in the last year and a half, I have lost much of my vision. And it has been one of those situations where I have been called to step out in faith more than I have ever had to step out in faith in my life. I have always been that person that can go do things, go on an adventure, go see, go get it done. But I had to call upon the miracles that will intercede on my behalf at each and every step. Those miracles may not be as big as the one that I experienced in Yosemite, but it might be just enough to get me from point A to point B. I still have not stopped traveling. I'm flying, I'm taking the train, I'm commuting, and oftentimes I step out in faith knowing that when I get to the other end, there is going to be somebody that I can hand my phone to that will plug in the destination in Uber or Lyft for me to get to the next point. They've always been there. When I traveled by train across the country earlier this year, I went from Sacramento to Chicago, on the train because I wanted to see the Rocky Mountains one last time while I still could. When I got to Chicago, I had no idea how I was going to negotiate getting from the train that I was on to the next train that I needed to get on to go to Indianapolis. But just as I was about to step off, the porter said to me, "Oh, the red hat gentleman will be waiting for you when you step off the train to take you to the next train." It was a miracle. I hadn't asked for that assistance. I didn't know it would happen, but the universe conspired to make it happen. I had to tap into the resources that I had. The resource that I had was faith. The faith that I would step out and do what I needed to do, the universe would conspire to find a way to assist me in doing it because I was willing to step out and face the fear. I was willing to step out in faith to do the thing. That has been my experience in this last year and a half. And it's like, I'm so grateful that I live in a world where I subscribe to a faith, a philosophy, a way of living that allows me to see the miracles that are unfolding in my life each and every day. There is no chance encounter. Anything that our ego wants to call a random chance encounter is a miracle unfolding for your highest and best. That person that you meet is it. Now, if we go back to the story of the bread and the fish and the miracle that transposed there, many in our philosophy would teach it was created in a way that all those people that come together had a little something, something in their pocket to sustain them. Maybe it was the heel of a loaf of bread. Maybe it was a piece of fruit in another pocket. But because they so believed in the lesson that was being taught before them, that when Yeshua, whom the world came to call Jesus, offered up the fish and the loaves, they were willing to offer up the little morsel that they had brought with them. And just as we can imagine in our life, when we all sacrifice, when we all offer our gift, we all offer what it is that we have, the miracle unfolds that there's enough, there's an abundance, there's plenty around for each and every one of us. And so that's what I want to invite you to take away today from that story is that miracles are possible. If you look at the technology that we thrive on, Can you imagine trying to communicate with your grandparents what it is to FaceTime with someone on the phone? Can you imagine that they could believe that you could make an international call on WhatsApp and it wouldn't cost anything? They would proclaim that a miracle that the technology has evolved so. We have lived the last 100 years where miracles to some are unfolding each and every day in our life. And we want to hold on to that idea to know that miracles are possible and are unfolding around us each and every day. So here's your homework assignment. I want you to recognize and notice the miracles that are unfolding before you this week. And it may take you being grateful for the miracles that have already unfolded. It may be you being grateful for the car that you're going to get into and drive on the highway and the safety precautions that protect you while you're in it. It may be your willingness to get into an airplane to fly across the country to see a loved one when you're a little shaky about doing it, but you're going to get there anyway. I want you to lift up the miracles that are before you every day and be willing to see them. So if you're willing, I'm going to leave you with this idea. You, because of your faith, can expect a miracle. Now go experience it. I want to turn it over to Donna W. right now, who's going to come up and introduce some very special music for you right now. Donna?
Hey everyone, I'd like you all to give a big hand to Henry Ramos. I met him at Cafe 210 where we do Cup of Jazz on Saturday, and he sings all the time, and I'm keeping his cover. He doesn't want to play his guitar for them, but I think he does a mean guitar and sing. And he will be playing and singing for you a song called Be Not Afraid. Give him a big hand. Needs a minute.
Here we go. Are we good up there? Okay. You shall cross the barren desert, but you shall not die of thirst. You shall wander far in safety, though you do not know the way. You shall speak your words in foreign lands, and all will understand. You shall see the face of God and live. Be not afraid. I go before you always. Come, follow me, and I will give you rest. If you pass through raging waters, in the sea you shall not drown. If you walk amid the burning flames, you shall not be harmed. If you stand before the power of hell, and death is at your side, know that I am with you. Be not afraid. I go before you always. Come, follow me, and I will give you rest. Blessed are your poor, for the kingdom shall be theirs. Blessed are you that weep and mourn, for one day you shall laugh. And if wicked men insult and hate you all because of me, blessed, blessed are you. Be not afraid. I go before you always. Come, follow me, and I will give you rest. And I will give you rest. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Henry. That was fantastic. Loved it. Thank you. It's now time for our conscious giving. If I could have our ushers come forward. And I don't see Kevin anywhere, but I'm sure he'll be in. I kind of needed some background music, but we'll just ask that. Thanks, Henry. We'll ask that we read our prosperity prayer together. Thank you. Today, I expect every good thing to come to me, for I know that divine abundance is forever manifesting itself in my affairs. I am keeping my whole mind and thought and expectation open to new experiences, to happier events, to a more complete self-expression. Everything that belongs to spirit, I accept. Everything that partakes of the nature of divine reality, I claim as my own. I identify with success, and I prosper in everything I do. As I give thanks for the good now flowing into my life, I gladly share that good with others. The more I give, the more I receive. I experience a deeper consciousness of peace and security, for I know that I am in the embrace of a warm, loving presence. My cup runneth over. I exist in limitless possibility. Thank you.
Yeah, he has it.
And together we bless these gifts and give thanks for all the good that they manifest. And so it is.
All right, beloved. Thank you so much for that. I hope you were inspired today. I hope there was a takeaway that will just absolutely propel you into the week ahead. You know, there's so much opportunity for us to be the demonstration right now that not only that miracles are possible, but that we can transcend these things that look like a setback or an obstacle or a challenge, that we can step out in faith and move through it. If you were inspired by anything today, I hope you will share the YouTube link from today's message with someone that you care about. Share that link and say, hey, here's what I'm up to on Sunday mornings. Give it a listen. See what you think about it. And let's discuss. So this is how we are going to make a difference. It might just be the miracle that someone is waiting for. So as we come together at the end of another gathering, we are thankful, 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 thankful that there is one source, there is one love, there is one knowing, there is one inspiration that brings us all together. And as we greet one another at home, or as we say hello to one another on YouTube, or as we say hello to people we meet today, we remember that it is not a random by chance meeting. Whoever we encounter is a divine encounter. We give thanks for being the one called to be in that moment, to be the demonstration of the love, the abundance, the joy that is ours to share with the world. And so as we go about our separate ways, I give thanks for our musical inspiration today. I give thanks for the production team that put everything together technology-wise for us today. I give thanks for every volunteer that lifted a hand, had a part in making today possible. I give thanks for everyone who took the time to listen to our message today. I am full of thanksgiving. And I know that this week is going to be good. So may we quick be to it. Thank you, God. Thank you, Source. And so it is. And so now we know that peace is an inside job and begins with me. So join us as we end with the peace song.
Now there is peace on earth, I know it begins with me. Now there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, united all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every breath I take, this is my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now